there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of missing persons reports, as well as numerous UFO activity sightings, and just all of these different kinds of crazy stuff happening in or around the areas of the United States National Park. And today's video is yet another one of these events or just creepy stuff to add to that list. And today we're talking about the stairs that were found in the middle of the woods in the United States National Park. Now, I'd just like to emphasize that these are not only found in the United States, but more so in the whole world. You can find apparently a set of staircase in the middle of nowhere in the woods just for no reason. And this is what this video is going to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit more about them, where you can find them, and people's encounters with them. So hello everybody, and welcome back to a new marvelous video. If you're ready, grab a cup of coffee just like I did, and let's get started. So hikers come across these random sets of stairs in the middle of the woods. So imagine this: you're going hiking or camping, right? And you are about 10 to 25 kilometers deep into the woods. That's about 25 miles deep inside of the woods. So you're in deep, okay? And you come across these random sets of stairs. And you're like, that looks interesting, right? And so you set up camp right next to it. And so you go about your day and you go to bed at night. So you wake up looking for that structure that you just slept next to, right? But you can't find it. It is nowhere to be found. However, the place that it was, there was a huge burn mark. So you, mortified, decide that you're gonna look for it. And so you start looking for the stairs that you just slept next to a day ago, like less than 24 hours ago, right? And so you end up spotting it 160 kilometers away. Can you imagine that? Wow. Apparently that's what's been happening. People have been stumbling across random staircases all across the United States, as well as every other country in the world, not just United States national parks, which makes this really interesting because although the United States national parks have a big history of UFO sightings, people gone missing, hundreds upon thousands of people go missing every single year in the national parks. They just keep it to the hush-hush, so it doesn't affect the, the people coming in and the money rolling in and stuff like that. But even other parts of the world, that is very interesting. So this whole thing have been essentially confirmed by an authority figure. I'm guessing he was a detective or a police officer that posted a Reddit thread on Reddit No Sleep about a few years ago. At this point, I'm thinking like 4 or 5-ish years ago, so it's been a while. He posted about these random sets of stairs that he stumbled across in the woods whilst looking for a missing person. So you can imagine the comments of that thread was filled with people confirming it and listing their own experiences when stumbling across other sets of stairs and in other parts of the world and with other conditions and other stuff. Just a lot of information and details surrounding finding stairs in the middle of the woods. So some of them describe the stairs as being in pristine condition. One of them even specified that it was carpeted with a white carpet and it looked immaculate. So that gives you an indication that it might be a new building, a new structure. However, some of them look quite run down, and they do look like they have been around for like 100 years, But one thing they don't disagree on is the uneasy feeling they feel around these staircases. And apparently not just humans find these staircases unappealing. Even wildlife tend to stay away from these staircases. Like, they don't want to be anywhere near these staircases, which is really weird if you ask me. Like, okay, humans might, come up with stories that they might believe in. It might be an urban legend, or it might be anything really. Someone created a story or was flexing their writing abilities on a Reddit no sleep thread, and they created this whole thing. But what about the animals, right? Anyways, they do avoid it like the plague. Now, these staircases spots are also a hotspot for UFO activities, Bigfoot sightings. Literally the craziest stuff you could think of happens in or around the area of this mysterious staircase. So a common thing among these people that saw these staircases is the feeling associated with seeing one. So they all report feeling uneasy and like they were not supposed to be there and were not supposed to be looking at the structure, or even just being around it made them feel threatened and stuff like that. So most people have an overwhelming urge to flee the area, which is why we have almost no stories of people claiming they went up the stairs, except very few. Even in this Reddit thread, there are only very few of people that claim they actually went on top of that stairs, and we're stuck with them now. So one person who was a search and rescue team member walked up a staircase, and I don't think he initially knew that he was walking up these mysterious staircases that made people feel a certain way and all of that. I think he just saw it and he was looking for a person, so he was like, yeah, might as well, right? Might as well chuck up there. So he did, and he described it as being meticulously clean with a bright white carpet. Like a bright white carpet in the middle of the woods. Come on, that is bound to be brown just from the dust that flies everywhere, right? You'd think so, but it was meticulously clean. And when he got on top, like on the last step, he felt everything gets oppressed around him, and he almost felt like he was in a vacuum and just he couldn't even hear himself breathe. So he just ran back to his teammates. However, one of them asked him, "You did stumble across a staircase, didn't you?" And he was surprised as how did his team member know that he did? Turns out he was missing for hours. And so one of the other search and rescue team members figured out that he must have stumbled across one of these stairs and then got occupied with them, or did, actually walk up them, which apparently results in loss of time or people gone missing. I mean, thankfully he did come back, or was able to come back, but apparently he did lose a big chunk of time. And this is a common enough theme in these stories, that some people walk up these stairs and by the time they come down, it's been not only hours. In one of the cases, it was 5 years. The person had lost his job and was missing for 5 years until he just walked in on them on the next day to him on the job. I would actually want to know the name of this person and that he actually went missing for 5 years, because I have my own suspicions. However, all of this did get started in Reddit No Sleep, which is mostly a fictional space for writers to write their own stories, right? And I'm not saying this is not true. I'm just saying that I would like to see proof of this person being missing for 5 years. Anyways, moving on. Now, every single person who had found themselves at one point in time in or around one of these stairs cannot go back and find them again. They apparently just vanish right after you see them. It's a one and done type of thing. It's one time and they just vanish and you never see them again. Now we're getting into the theory section of this video. Some believe that these staircases were built by some cults in some type of ritual of theirs. However, this theory fails to explain the feeling of dread that people get when seeing or being near one of these staircases. I guess cults do culty things and sacrifices and stuff like that, which can cause objects or just spaces to feel uneasy or like negative in general, right? So maybe that could explain it. But moving on to the next one, some people believe that it's a hot UFO spot, and so aliens apparently built these staircases, or the government built these staircases so the aliens could take people and experiment on them. Why would they need a staircase again? I don't understand. But anyways, that is a theory, and I don't know about UFOs needing a staircase to abduct people and experiment on them. It just sounds like an extra thing that is unnecessary. But moving on. Now, the last one I am going to talk about is from a psychic that claims that she remotely viewed these staircases. I'm guessing more than one, but don't quote me on that, okay? So, she remotely viewed one of these staircases, and she claimed that aliens use these locations to abduct people. So this is what she put forward, the theory she believes in. However, she also mentioned that remotely viewing one of these staircases or trying to view one or more of these staircases do cause her emotions to go numb because of the shifts of the energy in that space, I guess. However, she does believe that aliens do come. I'm guessing because she saw them, because she's a psychic, right? So she did see aliens come and pick up humans from the staircase. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that information. People also believe that these staircases are portals for other dimensions, but this is a whole other subject for another day. And if you want a video on that, I'll be happy to do so. Just let me know in the comment section down below. But for now, we are done with this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.